like, dude, that's hard. Like most music groups are like what 3 or 4, but you talk about 9 members and not just one real talented one, and the rest are kind of replaceable. No, everybody in this group is nice. So you got 9 different egos, and then you're led by RZA, he's juggling all this shit all over the place, and it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Alright, y'all. Wu-Tang, An American Saga, Season 3, Episode 4. So, I called it. I said, when I shot that video last week for Episode 3, right? I said, there's going to be people that's going to be like, what the fuck was this? This episode's trash. And then the other side is going to be people that's going to say, man, that was brilliant. That was the most, introspective Wu-Tang episode ever. And me, I was right down the middle because I was entertained by Episode 3. It was out there, but it did capture the essence of ODB, of Dirt McGirt. You know what I'm saying? And then, there was even one person in the comments that said, he said some crazy shit like, yeah, you missed the whole point of the episode. It was showing how the government killed ODB. I'm like, I don't know about that. Too far. I don't know. Listen, I'm not one to debunk conspiracies because I believe in some conspiracies myself. But think about it. Why would the government kill ODB? Usually, the government kills black people in a position where they implement real change in the black community, like a Tupac or a Malcolm X, And that this is no diss to ODB, but ODB at this point, when he passed away, rest in peace to the God, he was a shell of him for himself as far as the rappers go. He just got out of prison. He just got signed to Rockefeller. He was a shell of the ODB that we knew and loved. He was just getting back on his feet. So why would the government take him out when he really wasn't... I'm trying to choose the right words here, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know about that one. But anyways, Episode 3 was out there, but I knew that shit was gonna be divided as hell. But here we are, Episode 4, Daytona 500. This one feels like, to me, the truest Wu-Tang episode that we've got in a long time. Like, this felt like a complete Wu-Tang Clan show episode. All right, it just felt like a Wu episode because, okay, now they're finally on tour. We get everybody together, but they add one more face. They add Master Killer, and Raekwon ain't with that. And I think that's some real shit. I think at the time, Ray was like, dude, it's supposed to be 8 members. Why we adding a 9th one? Now we got to split the money 9 ways. Like, you're taking away from, you're taking food out my mouth right now. So what I dig about this is that, okay, so we all know RZA is over this show, right? RZA is like the executive producer. This is his show. And, when you're in that position, you can really be biased as far as how you tell the story and make yourself look like the hero. Like, for example, Straight Outta Compton, that's Dr. Dre. Straight Outta Compton painted Dr. Dre to be like a fucking superhero almost. Like, he was just, not so much goody two-shoes, but he was like this tough guy, this gangster, what I'm saying, this mythical figure. And it's like, dude, Dre had a lot of flaws. He was an alcoholic. He knocked some women around and shit. And he definitely wasn't a gangster. Okay, so when you're in charge like that, you can really dictate how the story is told. Even with a movie like Notorious that was run by Diddy, Notorious made Diddy look like he was some kind of like mentor to Big, or he was like this big brother like type father figure to Big, and that was the opposite. Because come to find out, him and Big really didn't get along. Big was always clowning him and shit, and there's a conspiracy that Puff has something to do with Big's demise. Who knows for sure, right? But what I like about this is that this is told from everyone's perspective. So nobody here is shown to be right or wrong. It's all about perspective. You know what I'm saying? So right now as we speak, most of the members, if you interview them, they will call Divine a piece of shit. They'll call him an asshole. He's a whatever. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a lot of good things to say about him. And I like that scene in the show where Divine was telling RZA, he said, hey, you're an artist, you guys sit on the artist bus, and then we have the executive bus. Stop trying to be, suit and tie or whatever. He's like, well, I'm both. He said, yeah, I know that, but look, let them hate me, okay? Because eventually, I guess he knew it was going to come to a point where you're dealing with 8 personalities, well, now 9 personalities. When it comes to money, eventually, shit's going to come to a head. Egos are going to clash, and they're going to find somebody to blame. So it looks like Divine knew right away, like, yeah, these motherfuckers gonna end up hating me. So let me take the hate. Okay, you become one of them. But the ironic thing is, they ended up hating RZA too. So even though it's funny that they still call RZA their brother, but they would say like, yeah, RZA, he dirty, he foul, he did a lot of foul shit or whatever. So they ended up hating both of them eventually, but they mostly hated Divine. And I gotta go back and watch that documentary because I forgot exactly what Divine did. I know it had something to do with money, but I forgot exactly what he did that caused many in the group to hate him. All right, so and also I call spade a spade. All right, since I've started doing these Wu reviews, I've been talking shit about Dave East's Method Man, right? How I just feel like his acting is just atrocious, but I gotta call spade a spade. Listen, this episode I did not mind him. This episode, I feel like he did a lot better. I saw more Method Man in him this episode than any other time. So it seems like he is getting better. Not quite there yet all the way, okay? So he's nowhere near how your boys like playing Raekwon, right? But I was able to see Method Man more this episode. I said, okay, that sounds like Meth. Okay, he has a lot of his body language, his mannerisms, okay? He's getting there. So I did not mind him this episode. And also, it's funny seeing your boy Chris Parlow, ruthless Chris Parlow from The Wire, playing Mook, who is, I guess he's the money guy. He's the guy that shakes the promoters up and gets more money out of the promoters. And Ghost notices this, and Ghost is like, yo, dude, like, like you not skimming off the top, but like you making all this money, like where's our money at? And in so many words, he's like, dude, you're wearing the money. Look at that gold chain you're wearing. Like all this shit that we got is because of what I'm doing. So back the fuck off. Let me do what I do, and you do what you do. All right, don't bite the hand that feeds you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, overall, man, this was a dope ass episode. I even loved the argument that they had, right? So when Ray brought up the point about Master Killer not being a part of the group because he was only on one song, and then Deck was like, well, you guys only on two songs and he's in the group, So I like how they all, they had this disagreement, but all of them are right in their own way, and none of them were really wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it just shows like, from the perspective. And even with Method Man, there was some jealousy towards him because, I always wondered, like, being that Meth was the first one to blow up, was there some jealousy, was there some resentment? And they still love him as a brother, but it's like, dude, you're about to go double platinum, you're on your own tour and shit, like, you got stuff going on for you, and some of us don't even have an album yet, So you see the tension building up already in this tour. And we all kind of know how this ends, where they do Wu-Tang Forever, then they all kind of go their separate ways, really. But then they come back again for what's the W, which was a mediocre album. So yeah, this kind of shows the beginning of the end of the group, because like, dude, that's hard. Like most music groups are like what, 3 or 4, but you talk about 9 members and not just one real talented one, and the rest are kind of replaceable. No, everybody in this group is nice. So you got 9 different egos, and then you're led by RZA, he's juggling all this shit all over the place, and it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. So yeah, so shout out to RZA for making it not so biased, to make him come out on top looking like he's the hero, or like he's the victim, or like, everybody hates me, but it's not my fault. No, he shows that, okay, everybody has their reason for feeling what they feeling. Everybody has their truth, and he lets everybody speak their truth. And that's what I dig about this episode. And it also ended with U-God with his son getting shot, which really happened. And he had, he left the tour briefly. And if I'm not mistaken, I think something happens with ODB on this tour, because I remember he was kind of ghost for a while. Like ODB, I think I don't know if he got locked up or something happened, where, refresh my memory, but yeah, I think, something happened with ODB where he was off the tour as well. So anyways, y'all, not to ramble on and on, dope-ass episode. This feels like a true return to form for the Wu. It felt like a true Wu episode. Shout out to all the young brothers that are doing their thing on the show. Even Dave East, I know I shit on his performance, but he came through in this episode. Like, everything was on point here. So what did y'all think? Was it better than last week's episode? I know some of you are going to be like, no, episode 3 was the greatest episode ever. You people just don't understand. Take the blinders off. Wake up. All right? It was the most introspective episode ever. It just shows the genius of ODB. You just don't understand good cinema. Comment freely below. All right? That's it and that's all. If you like and dig this content, hit that like and subscribe, notification bell in the corner. This is Rashad G signing out. See you in the next video.